Welcome back to our channel, my dear fellow viewers. There is so much happening in Port Charles right now, and I simply cannot wait to share my thoughts with all of you. Let us explore these upcoming 2 weeks together. As we look ahead to the weeks of June 22 and the 29th of June 2026, it is abundantly clear that the writers of General Hospital are preparing to take us on a profoundly emotional and perilous journey. The canvas is currently painted with high-stakes rescue missions, terrifying captivities, and the kind of deep family drama that has kept us all tuning in for decades. I must confess, as a newer voice in this wonderful community of fans, I find myself completely captivated by the sheer intensity of the current storylines. There is a palpable sense of danger looming over our favorite characters, and I want to take the time to unpack exactly what these upcoming developments mean for the people we have grown to care about so deeply. Let us begin by discussing the incredibly tense situation surrounding Britt Westbourne. The spoilers for the week of June 29 indicate that there may finally be some progress in the desperate mission to save her, but the stakes could not possibly be higher. We know that Britt has been on the run, fiercely protecting young Rocco Falconeri, but her own physical condition is rapidly deteriorating. The revelation that she desperately needs her specific medication or else her life could end far sooner than anyone expected is absolutely heartbreaking. Britt has always been a character who masks her vulnerability with a sharp wit and a tough exterior. But beneath that armor is a woman who has fought so hard for redemption and love. I find it deeply tragic that while she is risking everything to keep Rocco safe, her own body is failing her. Furthermore, the agonizing irony that her mother, Liesl Obrecht, has been violently abducted by Ross Cullum and forced to complete Britt's work on Spoon Island only adds to the immense sorrow of this storyline. I firmly believe that Britt deserves a rescue, and I am holding out hope that Britt's relentless manhunt will reach her before her time runs out. Speaking of desperate situations, we must turn our attention to the terrifying ordeal unfolding at Windermere. During the week of June 22, we are told that Carly Spencer is going to make an unexpected and sudden confession. Knowing Carly's history, this deeply intrigues me. Carly is a woman driven by a fierce, almost blinding maternal instinct. With her daughter Jocelyn currently suffering a severe psychological breakdown while being held captive by the WSB, Carly has already proven she is willing to ignore Valentine Cassadine's strict warnings to stay away from Spoon Island. I suspect that this unexpected confession is directly tied to her desperate unilateral moves to save her daughter. Perhaps she has uncovered the ring Jocelyn intentionally dropped. Or perhaps she has realized that she must expose her own dangerous alliances, including her complicated dynamic with Jack Brennan, to force the authorities to intervene. While some viewers may find Carly's impulsive nature frustrating, I have always admired her unwavering dedication to her children. A mother's love knows no bounds, and I believe Carly is about to prove that once again, regardless of the personal cost. Meanwhile, within the dark stone walls of that island fortress, Jocelyn Jacks is fighting her own agonizing battle. The spoilers reveal that Jocelyn will engage in a fierce, heated argument with Cassius, the cruel operative who has been masquerading as Nathan West. My heart truly breaks for Jocelyn. She is a young woman who inherited her mother's fiery spirit, but the psychological warfare being waged against her by Cassius and Ross Cullum is enough to break anyone. We know that the WSB has sinister plans to ship her off to France, mirroring the tragic, historical torment they once inflicted upon Anna Devane. The fact that Jocelyn is finding the strength to stand up and argue with her captor, even as her grip on reality is slipping, speaks volumes about her resilience. I strongly feel that this ordeal will forever change Jocelyn, stripping away the last remnants of her innocence and forging her into a much harder, more cautious woman. I only hope that Carly's impending confession and relentless pursuit will reach her before Cassius completely shatters her spirit. As if the darkness on Spoon Island were not enough, the mainland of Port Charles is facing its own impending tragedies. As we move into the week of June 29, the situation surrounding Brooklyn Quartermain looks incredibly grim. The The spoilers suggest that her carefully constructed plans are going to fail, leading her toward a truly tragic fate. For weeks, Brooke Lynn has been carrying the soul-crushing guilt of being the driver who fled the scene of Jordan Ashford's accident, while her grandmother, the formidable Tracy Quartermain, has ruthlessly demanded her silence to protect the closed adoption of sweet baby Phoebe. Brooke Lynn's conscience has been slowly eating away at her. I have always found Brooke Lynn to be a character of profound contradictions. She possesses the legendary Quartermain cunning, yet she has a remarkably soft and loving heart. I firmly believe that secrets in Port Charles are like poison. They inevitably destroy the vessel that holds them. If her plan to manage this crisis fails, she stands to lose not only her freedom, but her beautiful marriage to Harrison Chase. It is a heartbreaking scenario, and while I disagree with her initial choice to run, I cannot help but feel a deep, abiding sympathy for the impossible corner she has backed herself into. This theme of characters being backed into dangerous corners continues with Willow Tate Kane. The spoilers for June 22 describe a truly chilling moment. Willow opens her door, expecting a normal visitor, only to be confronted by someone who absolutely should not be there. She is terrified, and rightly so, as it appears Jen Sidwell has come to push her into a terrifyingly difficult position. Sidwell is not just a casual villain. He is a desperate man on a ruthless mission, and he needs a place to stay and likely someone to manipulate. Willow has already been treading on incredibly dark and dangerous ground recently, having drugged Drew Kane and subsequently catching the predatory attention of Jack Brennan. I must say, watching Willow transition from a pure-hearted teacher and nurse into someone entangled with dangerous men and moral compromises has been a fascinating, albeit unsettling, journey. When Sidwell forces his way into her life, Willow will realize that she is completely out of her depth. I fear that her inability to confess her initial sins has now trapped her in a web of criminality from which she may not be able to escape. In the midst of all this criminal enterprise, we also have the deeply emotional legacy stories coming to the forefront. Mayor Laura Collins is about to make a massive discovery. The spoilers indicate that she will learn that her daughter, Lulu Spencer, and Detective Dante Falconeri are actively pursuing young Rocco. Furthermore, Lulu will reach out to Laura, asking her to watch over Charlotte Cassadine, which will force Lulu to quickly confess a few vital secrets. I have always viewed Laura as the steadfast moral compass and the ultimate matriarch of Port Charles. Jeannie Francis plays this role with such incredible grace and gravitas. For Laura to discover that her family is secretly embroiled in this dangerous manhunt while she is trying to manage the city's crises is a heavy burden. I believe Laura will handle this with her usual strength, but it highlights the tragic reality that the Spencer and Cassadine legacies are forever intertwined with danger. Lulu's protective instincts for Rocco are understandable, but pulling Laura into the fray ensures that the entire family is now at risk. Similarly, we must discuss the legendary Anna Devane. During the week of June 22, Anna will attend a doctor's appointment and subsequently make a very bold decision. Anna has always been a pillar of strength, a woman who has survived the darkest corners of the WSB and the most heartbreaking personal losses. When a character of her magnitude faces a medical issue, it gives us all pause. I suspect that whatever she learns at this appointment will force her to reevaluate her priorities, perhaps pushing her to take decisive action regarding her complicated, fractured relationship with the fugitive Valentine Cassadine. I have always admired Anna's ability to put the safety of the world before her own happiness, but I sincerely hope that this bold decision is one that finally prioritizes her own well-being and peace of mind. Speaking of Valentine, his attempts to navigate his fugitive status are becoming increasingly perilous. The spoilers for the week of June 29 reveal that Valentine will attempt to arrange a meeting with a mysterious figure known only as Z. However, the ever-calculating Jack Brennan has already warned Carly that Z might not even agree to meet with Valentine. This intricate game of espionage is thrilling, but it also underscores how isolated Valentine truly is. He is a man who has historically the tightest nets, but without Anna's protection and with the WSB closing in, his options are dwindling. I find the dynamic between Valentine and Brennan to be a fascinating study in power and manipulation, and I am eager to see if Valentine's charm and intellect can save him this time, or if Brennan's warning is a harbinger of Valentine's ultimate downfall. The younger generation is also taking incredibly foolish risks. Charlotte and Danny Morgan are reportedly teaming up once again to deal with the ruthless Ross Cullum. We all remember their previous misguided break-in at Windermere. While I admire their bravery and recognize the adventurous spirits of their parents within them, dealing with a hardened, sadistic WSB operative like Cullum is not a game for teenagers. Cullum has already violently abducted Liesel and is tormenting Jocelyn. I am deeply concerned for Charlotte and Danny's safety. I believe their storyline serves as a stark reminder of how the sins and conflicts of the adults in Port Charles inevitably bleed down to endanger their children. I pray that someone intervenes before these brave but reckless youth find themselves in a situation they cannot escape. Finally, we must touch upon the deeply moving human drama surrounding the Ashford and Robinson families. As we approach the end of June, Portia Robinson is heavily pregnant, yet her family is entirely fractured. Trina has understandably distanced herself due to the overwhelming stress of Curtis's brutal trial and the disastrous fallout from his assault on Isaiah. However, the spoilers tease the high probability of Portia experiencing a severe medical emergency. While I never wish harm upon any character, especially an expectant mother, I cannot help but feel that in the world of General Hospital, it often takes a profound crisis to remind people of what truly matters. I strongly believe that a medical emergency for Portia might be the exact catalyst needed to bring Trina rushing back to her mother's side, forcing the family to set aside their legal battles and resentments to unite in love and support. The emotional core of this show has always been its families, and I am hopeful that this terrifying moment will ultimately lead to a beautiful and necessary reconciliation. In conclusion, these upcoming weeks are shaping up to be an extraordinary testament to the brilliant, complex storytelling that makes General Hospital so enduring. From the life and death stakes of Britt's illness and Jocelyn's captivity to the quiet, heartbreaking moral compromises of Brooke, Lynn, and Willow, every single character is being pushed to their absolute limits. As a viewer and a passionate fan, I am completely invested in every tear, every betrayal, and every desperate rescue. I encourage all of you to keep your eyes glued to the screen, as I have a feeling that the landscape of Port Charles is about to change forever. I look forward to reading all of your thoughts and continuing this wonderful conversation as the drama unfolds.